Teofimo Lopez is going to start talks with Devin Haney for a fight? Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Renee Box Young. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, tuning into lives, comments in the comment sections. I hope each and every one of you are safe, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely, I mean it, from the bottom of my heart. I hope you are safe. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. If there are any new listeners, go ahead and like, subscribe, share. This is a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about the sport of boxing. That's all we do. Subscribers since day one. I really appreciate you all. Recent subscribers, welcome to Renee Box Young. Thank you so much. I want to talk about this. One of the reasons why I said it in the question form, in the introduction snippet, whatever you want to call it, is I'm kind of doubtful of this, May I just start out as a mini introduction? I guess we can say that, the thing about, I've said it time and time again that, the generation that we're living in is, the digital era that we are living in, we get information just every single, every second there's information coming out about everything. When we micro focus on, when we talk about the sport of boxing, we get information constantly. There's always breaking news, always something new. And supposedly Teofimo Lopez sent contracts, for a possible fight against Kambosos, which recently has looked like more probable. Recently looked more probable, a fight between Teofimo, Kambosos, IBF mandatory if I'm not mistaken, and and to Devin Haney. So according to Teofimo, right, and if I'm not mistaken, recently Bill Haney came out and said, Devin Haney's father said that they haven't received any contract or anything of that nature. So, that's why I'm kind of fishy about it, kind of suspect about it, as far as skeptical, I guess we can say, skeptical about this whole situation. Let's get to the article. Let me show you. As you know, this is on Boxing News, right? Boxing News 24. Link in the description. Check it out. It says here, Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos negotiations vaporizing. Haney could be next. Okay, I want to show you something. Okay, let's read it through just real quick. All right, some aspects here. It says by Dan Ambrose. Okay, Teofimo Lopez is reportedly having problems with the negotiations with his IBF mandatory George Kambosos Jr. And he says he's going to look to start talks with WBC champion, got to get that clear, ladies and gentlemen, right? Devin Haney this week. So according to what's going on here is, it says here that there are talks that the travel ban that is going on in Australia right now could be a factor, okay, that will get in the way of, et cetera, right, of Teofimo fighting Kambosos, okay? So it looks like it's possible that this fight might not go down, okay? As far as Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos, So we see here, this is, Teofimo quoting here. It says, this week we're going to be talking to Eddie Hearn, and let's see what happens from there, said Teofimo to yada, yada, yada. Y'all check it out, okay? Link in the description of this article so you can check it out, okay? So, according to, Teofimo, they're going to be talking to Devin Haney and his team for a possible fight. I've said it before, even though I'm not really not interested, of Teofimo fighting this Kambosos guy, okay? Maybe some people know about him. I have no idea who that dude is. I think I've seen him fight once or twice before. But I'm not hating on it. I'm not, but because we got to understand, Teofimo just came off a great win, off of, from Lomachenko. So I understand you're mandatory, go defend it, whatever. But I really do want to see, what I'm most interested in seeing the Teofimo Lopez versus Haney. I've been, saying that ever since I saw Teofimo, beat Lomachenko. I understand, go defend your title against a mandatory, whatever, I get it. So, but, what I really want to see, made a video some time ago about, I don't even remember which video it was, but I talked about, I want to see Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. A lot of boxing community wants to see that, It's just hard, hard to believe. I don't know, man. It's just, I'm still skeptical about all this. I don't know, because of the money, the negotiations, you know how that works, man. The business side of the sport, sometimes because of these aspects of the sport of boxing, they prevent fights. It prevents fights. So according to Teofimo, this week he's going to, talk it over with Devin Haney. So we'll see what happens. I kind of want to make this video short, but we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. If he does, okay, if this fight really, becomes official and they negotiate something or whatever they're doing, right, whatever they got to do, awesome. awesome, because this is exactly what we want to see. You know what I'm saying? The right now, I guess, when in the cold season that the world is going through, whatever. Right now we're in January and stuff, and February, and it's kind of the cold season around the world, I guess. It seems like these coronavirus cases are just spiking high again, once again, or whatever, right? Second wave, whatever they call it. So it's really affecting a lot of places shutting down once again, cities and things of that nature, states, whatever, right? Around the world. And, it's really preventing a lot of these fights, just as we saw right now. I mean, what we're seeing right now, that a potential fight between Kambosos and Teofimo is not going to happen, which we really didn't really see I really didn't want to see anyway, but because of a travel ban. So Australia is having a travel ban, so I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I really do hope Teofimo and Haney fight and get down, to business, and work out the numbers, crunch numbers. And that's the thing, I just want to reiterate, now with this whole digital era, we just have all this information at our fingertips. And I've said it before, we get a glimpse of what fighters really go through, what they have to go through. We really don't see it all, you know what I mean? We don't see it all. Fighters got to go through a lot. I've said this time and time again, and I just want to reiterate it just to get it through, get my message across for new subscribers and, new listeners, what have you, and those who have listened, since day one, that, it must be frustrating sometimes for a fighter, having to deal with so much media and, this and that, going back and forth with the negotiations with the potential fight. And then this happens, and then this changes, and then this flips the script. And, behind closed doors, I'm sure it's kind of frustrating, especially having to, talk to other different promoters and, to get a fight down with somebody with a fighter who is under a different promoter and things of that nature. I'm sure it's complex. I'm sure it's complicated. While a fighter should primarily be focused on fighting, I'm saying, on training, on keeping his mind right, keeping his, emotions under control. And I'm sure it's stressful. Fighters got to go through a lot of pressure, and we're seeing this happening right now. I'm sure it's stressful for Teofimo, possibly to a certain extent. I'm sure it's stressful for Devin Haney, There are talks of, Haney Fortuna going to be soon and next. So I don't know. We don't know. I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But I definitely do. If that's the case, if Devin Haney has to fight Fortuna, get Fortuna out of the way. But then again, Fortuna is a great, competitor. So we'll see, man. If Devin Haney has to fight Fortuna first and then get the Teofimo fight, maybe Teofimo will be waiting, for Haney. So, but we'll see, man. But I'm just skeptical about all this. I'm not so sure that this fight's going to happen next, man. Even if considering that if Devin Haney has to fight, if he fights Javier Fortuna, okay, and let's just speak in that scenario, with that scenario in mind, maybe Devin Haney fights Fortuna. Many things can happen between now and the fight between Devin Haney and Fortuna, and after that fight, and Teofimo. I don't think Teofimo is just going to be sitting around waiting. So, I mean, a lot of things can happen between now and then, which is one of the reasons why I'm skeptical about all this. And also because what I said a moment ago about the business, this whole them crunching numbers, both sides crunching numbers, A side, B side talk and all that stuff. I mean, it's a part of the game. It's a part of the business. It's a part of the sport. So, unfortunately, I'm saying, and a lot of times this prevents fights. So I'm really skeptical about all this, man, even though it's coming out in the media that, Teofimo's going to do, even though Teofimo himself said, yeah, we're going to have talks with Devin Haney. Like I said, according to, sources, Teofimo supposedly sent a contract or whatever you want to call it to Devin Haney, Bill Haney, and they said they didn't receive anything. So, I'm pretty skeptical about all this, and I don't know. I really doubt it's going to happen. I mean, I'm just trying to be realistic in all things, you know what I'm saying? That's why I made a video recently talking about, it's labeled "Don't Believe the Hype," you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we just, sometimes we get a little bit too hyped up over some information, which is, in the long run, not even true. So, and turns out to be not true, you know what I'm saying? So, we'll see what happens, man. I'm keeping my eye on this because I want to see this fight. So, but I really hope this happens, man. So we can keep our eye out on it. You know what I'm saying? Renee Boxing, go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. What do you guys think about all this? Do you guys think it's true? Do you guys think that this is really going to happen? As far as Teofimo going to have talks with Devin Haney, and obviously they have to negotiate with Eddie Hearn. I don't think Eddie Hearn maybe is the easiest guy to negotiate with, especially when you're on under another promoter like Bob Arum. With I don't know, man. It's just kind of weird, man. That's why I see this. I'm quite skeptical about all this, man. So go ahead and comment below. What do you guys think about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for your support. Renee Boxing. Stay safe out there. Peace.